Hey guys, how we doing today? We're going to go ahead and get started with lesson 3.5. And this is evaluate algebraic expressions. So lesson 3.4 dealt with writing algebraic expressions. Now we're going to evaluate it. So when you think the word evaluate, essentially all that means is to solve the algebraic expression. So we're going to start with we're going to jump right into it. We have 3 steps to this. We have 3 steps that we're going to have to do to be able to solve it. So we'll start with our first step. So skip down a line, go and write the word first. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down the expression. We are going to write down the expression. So our example we're going to use for this one is 27 divided by s squared, or to the second power. Now right next to this, we're going to write what the value is, which is s equals 1/3. So that is all we have to do. Now for the most part, you're generally not going to have to write this part down. This part would be given to you. The only reason I'm writing it down is so you can see it. That leads us to our second step. So write down the word second. And for the second step, you're going to substitute the variable for the given value. So when it says to substitute, all that means is you're going to trade essentially the variable here, this s, for what its value is. This is the given value here. So anywhere you see that variable, that s, you will just plug in or substitute its value, which is 1/3 here. So right underneath this, I'll write the problem again. 27 divided by, now instead of writing s, I'm going to write what its value is, which is 1/3. Now I'm going to put this in parentheses. You don't have to, but I'm going to, just to keep this exponent kind of clear of it, so this way it doesn't get confused with this 1 here, look like a 12. So now our problem says 27 divided by 1/3 to the second. So that leads us into our third step. So third, we're going to evaluate. And again, that essentially means solve the expression. So we're going to evaluate or solve the expression. So I'll go ahead and rewrite this problem underneath here. 27 divided by 1/3 to the second. So really, guys, when you think about this, this is the only thing that's new here, is trading out this value for this variable. Everything else is stuff that you have done before. And to be honest, that's going to be one of the tougher parts for you, because again, you're going to have to recall all this information that we've been learning since the beginning of the year. So when I look at 1/3 to the second, I have to think, okay, how do exponents work? Well, remember, exponents tell the base how many times to multiply itself. So let's go ahead and do this right underneath here. So we'll write 1/3 times 1/3, because it's 1/3 of the second saying 1/3 times 1/3. You're multiplying it twice. So we'll multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So now I will plug that in. 27 divided by 1/9. Now, we know when we have fractions and we know when we divide, there's a couple rules we have to abide by. First is I have to have fractions divided by fractions, or fractions times fractions. I can't just leave whole numbers in there. So the way I fix this is I turn 27 into a fraction by putting it over 1. So I'll rewrite this so it's a little clearer. So 27 over 1 divided by 1/9. Now the next thing I know is that there's no such thing as division with fractions, so I have to use a reciprocal. That is where I flip the second fraction. 9 goes up to the top, 1 goes down to the bottom. And it turns into a multiplication problem instead of a division. So I'll rewrite it again. 27 over 1 times 9 over 1. And then you just multiply straight across. 27 times 9 is 243. 1 times 1 is 1. But again, we know we don't want to leave our answer like this because that's not very clear. So 243 over 1 really just means 243. So again, this is the type of problem that you've already done before. The only thing new here was plugging in the value for this variable. I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. We're going to do another example here. So this example is, again, pretty similar. One little different twist with it. This one is going to be 6t divided by 9 minus 22. In this case, t is going to equal 60. So this was our first step. We had to write it down. The next step is we are going to substitute the given value for this variable. So it'll be 6. Now, here's my question for you. Do I just write down 60 next to this? The answer is no, because whenever there's no sign in between the variable and the number, there's no sign, there's no operation, that always, always, always means to multiply. Now, I could write a multiplication sign, I could write a dot. In this case, just because I like doing it this way, I'm going to put it in parentheses, because that means the same thing as well. It means multiply. So 6 and times 60 divided by 9 minus 22. Now, we have to follow order of operations. I can't just start saying, okay, 60 divided by 9 or 9 minus 22. I have to do order of operations. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, or division, whichever comes first, left to right. Well, in this case, multiplication comes first, left to right. So 6 times 60. 6 times 6 is 36. And add my 0. Then I'll rewrite the rest of the problem. Divide by 9 minus 22. So I still have multiplication or division before I can do my subtraction. So in this case, it's division. So 360 divided by 9, let's see, I can do this in my head because I can cover up the 0 and say 36 divided by 9 is 4. And then I move my finger and say, oh, I got to put the 0 back on. It's 40. Now rewrite the rest, minus 22. So 40 minus 22, I could do that on the side of my paper, or I could also do that in my head. I know 40 minus 20 is 20, and 2 more would make it 18. So again, this is a problem that you have done before. So guys, girls, it is not the substitution I'm worried about. It's only you being able to finish these problems. There are going to be some examples where there's fractions involved. But again, you treat it the exact same way. All you do is substitute the given value for the variable. Here's what you guys are going to be doing. You'll be getting assigned homework here pretty soon. When you do, take your time. Do not skip steps. Notice how I always rewrite each step, just like when we do numerical expressions. We always rewrite each step. We don't try and combine multiple steps together, and we don't do things in our head. We write them down step by step so we don't get confused. Same thing here. Make sure you write down your expression first and then do your substitution. Sometimes you might have multiple variables in there, and you'd have multiple given values for each one of those that you have to plug in. But please make sure you are not skipping steps. So if you guys have any questions about your homework, remember you can always contact me at any given time, and I'll do my best to be able to respond to you and help you out in any way I can. So I will meet up with you guys next week. Can't wait to see you because you guys will be back in school. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Take care. Bye.